Good union job? The Inland Empire's 14,000 member strong Teamsters Local 1932 has opened a training center to get working people trained and placed in open positions in public service clerical work and in jobs in the logistics industry. This is a new opportunity to advance your career and raise standards across the region. Visit 1932trainingcenter.org to enroll today. That's 1932trainingcenter.org.
In these times, sometimes you have to take away the stress or dress to impress. Lux Transportation has just the ticket for you and your needs to relax, kick your feet up in style, and make some new fun memories. Looking for a hassle-free, comfortable ride? Experience the ultimate in luxury. Transportation in a sleek, luxurious black-on-black SUV. Private, discreet rides, airport runs, sightseeing, proms, weddings, and romantic date nights are all ahead in your future with Lux Transportation. Karaoke, disability-friendly, and no problem, we're also senior citizen-friendly too. Call or text Mr. Hollins to take away the stress at 951-399-5425. That's 951-399-5425. Lux Transportation, when you need the absolute best.
Hey there, it's James Worthy, and I'm here to talk about something that's making waves in the world of recovery, IceBod Active. Whether you're a pickleballer, tennis pro, soccer fanatic, basketball champ, or a runner, IceBod Active is your ticket to quicker recovery and peak performance. Picture this: form-fitting cryo compression wear that not only supports your muscles, but makes you look good while you're doing it. IceBod Active is the ultimate fusion of style and functionality. And here's the best part. IceBod Active comes equipped with pockets that fit flexible ice cold gel packs that conform to your body's contours, providing targeted relief right where you need it most. So whether you're a hard-working laborer or a dedicated athlete, IceBod Active lets you ice and go. Don't let sore muscles hold you back. Go to icebodactive.com today and experience the future of recovery. They have free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to icebodactive.com.
The caring staff at Mac Flavor Ingredients reminds everyone to please take the opportunity to give blood. By doing so, you may save the life of a friend, child, elderly person, surgery patient, or an accident victim. So give blood. It's safe, simple, and saves lives. This important reminder is a courtesy of Mac Flavor Ingredients in Riverside, where they care about the safety and welfare of our community. Be a silent hero, and if you can, give the gift of life. Give blood.
For over 75 years, the Marine Toys for Tots program has provided toys and emotional support to economically disadvantaged children, primarily during the holidays. But needs are not just seasonal, and now, neither is Toys for Tots. They've expanded their outreach to support families in need all year long with their new programs, including the Foster Care Initiative, the Native American Program, and the Youth Ambassador Program. To learn how you can help, visit toysfortots.org.
KCAA.
And good afternoon, 3:05. I'm Mark Westwood, announcer here at KCAA. And now it's time for Donald Williamson, Taxsaver, and more here on KCAA. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host, Don Williamson.
Good afternoon, listeners in Radioland. And yes, I've got all kinds of things that you're going to hear me talk about, not just today, but in days to come. And this being the end of the year, we talked a little bit last time about things you could do to save money on your property taxes. And one of them was to pay your property tax on time. So December 10th was your deadline. And if you got the first half paid, then you're way ahead. I had to go pay some myself. And it's interesting, some of the things that I came up with from doing that. For example, I had a timeshare that I had to pay on, and it was in San Diego County. And one of the sheets of paper that was in the envelope talked about understanding your bill, and it said large increase in your tax bill. And then it talked about the normal increase. If your property Prop 13, your assessed value may increase by up to 2% per year. That's the inflationary factor, maximum of 2%, added to your Prop 13 value. Everybody has a Prop 13 value when you buy something. It said expect that small, slight increase in your bill. But then it says, but what if you see a significant increase? And here are some possible reasons, and I had indicated that too before. Restoration of a temporary reduction in value. That's talking about your Prop 8. There's a Prop 8 program where if the value goes down below what's on the tax bill, the assessor has the obligation to do it, and they may not have the computer might not be able to handle everything or everywhere, or they may not have the staff, the appraisers, to drop it like in the old days. And so anyway, when it drops, it didn't drop just 2%. It drops to whatever it went down to. Say it dropped 50,000 or 100,000, and maybe the next year it dropped some more, going down and down. So finally, when things leveled off and things started going back up and up and up, well, then they have to restore that Prop 13 value. And a lot of people see that added. It didn't limit it to 2% going down, and it's not limited to 2% on the way back up. So it was a temporary reduction, and people go into the assessor's office. I'm not the assessor anymore, by the way. So you can't blame me for the increases. But anyway, so if you got a significant one, you might want to call. You might want, if you can't look at it should show up on your tax bill probably, but if you can't figure it out, then you can always call the assessor's office or go in and talk to one of the deputies, and they'll help you out. Now, one thing, there's other things here. It says assessments, special assessments, and that have been created by the voters, or if they were voted in by the legislature. And then new voter approved bonds. You know, there were some bonds to be voted on this time. And those bonds have to be paid back. They're not free. And some of those bonds go on your property tax. And something else that's been happening that I don't agree with, but it happens. The cities, some of the cities, like in Fontana, they've got the sewer bills on your property tax bill. And then in Rialto, if you didn't vote to opt out of the program, the trash bills from Burtec go on your property tax. So they're not really property taxes. And I have no objection to them being in the same envelope. I do have an objection that they're putting it on their property tax bill, because some people are having trouble paying their property tax bill. That's why it's in two halves. But sometimes they have trouble paying the one half. And so you might do like I did. I have on my residence, I have it set up for them to have an impound account, which we called it years ago. Now they call it escrow account. I'm not required because of my amount of equity in my house to have one, but I want one because it's easier to pay 1/12 of your property taxes and 1/12 of your fire insurance, homeowner's insurance, each month, and then it is to wait and pay it all at the end of the year. And so I have it voluntarily on there to help me out. But it's nice to see this from other counties that are saying exactly what I've been saying. Now there's a new one. They do leave out one little part on this. It talks about property tax postponement. Now I knew they had that. And for senior citizens, blind or disabled persons, the state controller's office, so that must be statewide since it's from them, administers the property tax postponement program, which allows eligible, is the key word, homeowners to postpone payment of current year property taxes on their primary residence. And you have to apply between October 1st and February 10th each year. And you can go to their website. It's www.ptp.sco.ca.gov for more info. And then they got a phone number, 800-952-5661, or email them an email. So the point is, what they didn't tell you is, when do you got to start paying it back? You can't postpone it forever. And what is going to be the extra fee for doing it? They didn't touch on those. Anyway, that's, and you have different methods that you can pay your tax bill. One, the old-fashioned way, was to go in. And I kind of covered about 3 of them, I think, this time. I actually went in on some of them and I paid it on the 9th. And then on the 10th, my timeshares, I call in, and you can do that on the website, or you can do what I did, and that was by telephone. And in San Diego, I had one, and they didn't have them listed. I couldn't figure out how I could do it, so I just mailed it the old-fashioned way. Put a stamp on it, put a check in it, and mailed it before 5 o'clock at the post office. And now we'll cover some other things here. See that covering the tax bills. You know, I ran into something else I want to talk about, because it's a relative. She has it's not a deferred mortgage. Now I'm getting tongue-tied on her mortgage. Is a reverse mortgage. They used to advertise them on TV a lot. Reverse mortgage. Well, I know that every year you have to do an annual residency report, sign it and send it back on their form. You can't just do it with a letter. And in it also, you have to show proof that you paid the property tax and paid your insurance on it. And that's on your primary house. Now, if you move out of that house, or if you die, then the loan has to be paid off, and by your heirs or whoever. And I just last couple of days, I was at a Kiwanis Noon function in Redlands, and a lady gave a speech. She talked about people having a trust, family trust, which I have. And she touched on, if you haven't looked at lately, and mine hasn't, it's been years when my wife died, but she died about 9 years ago, and about a year or so before that, we set up the family trust. She says, things have changed, and you need to have it reviewed. And she convinced me. I won't go into all the details, but if you have a family trust, you might want to check that out. And, you know, I got to thinking about this reverse mortgage. If you have now, family trust is usually done, well, for a lot of reasons, but one of them is so you don't have probate. And the problem with a probate, that's so it goes through without doing it. And if you don't have a trust, then you got to probate it. That might take up to 5 years, she said. So if you have a reverse mortgage and something happens to you, and you don't have a family trust set up, you can't sell it because of probate until you've done with that. And if that takes that much time, the lender's going to foreclose on it because you ain't paid for it because you're not living in it. You have to live in it to qualify for that. And your heirs know that reverse mortgage, when you die or you move out, it's got to be paid for. And that could be a problem. So you might want to keep an eye on that. And I'm going to have my trust re-looked at and see what's going on, if I need to make some changes. You know, just because, even when I was the assessor, some of the rules that applied then have been modified or done away with. We had a senior citizen assistance program that I helped sponsor, and that was through where seniors could get a prorated, if they're low income, could get a prorated refund of their property taxes back based on their income. Well, I think the program might still exist, but one of the governors eliminated the funding from the budget. So it's the same as non-existing. I keep hoping that we can bring it back because there are many seniors that depended on that. Now we're going to go into some, I talked about the American Legion of VFW, the Veterans Organization exemption last time. I'm still working on some. I encourage the VFW and American Legions and any veterans organization to check that out carefully. And it's worth, because it's potential savings of thousands of dollars a year in property taxes. And you can expect to do some work to get that, because they kind of want to only give you two rooms. One for the consultation room. This isn't law. That's just what the way the BOA interprets it. And also a room to put your, probably desk and file cabinets, your records. Veterans records. I always put the word veterans. And I got some ideas. If you don't get the whole thing, the full exemption, and you might not. You may only get a couple of rooms. And if so, then you may want to call this radio station and ask me to give you some helpful hints. There's no guarantees. You need to, when you get that, that's so involved, the form, that in addition to the information sheet that comes with it, there's an instruction sheet, not sheet, but with an S. There's sheets. And that's very involved. You read it a couple of times. You start to try to fill it out. You're going to run into problems. Go down to the assessor's office. Make them your friend in the exemption department. Ask who knows a lot about that program and can help you. And if need be, even talk to an attorney or possibly a tax consultant and see what they can do, because it's worth it. If you're potentially going to get thousands of dollars savings, then it's worth putting a lot of time into it. I could tell you, I gave one American Legion 3 times I went in. I was a member of it. And I gave them the form. Came back 2 months later, they hadn't done a thing with it but put it in the file. So I gave them another one. 2 months later, they hadn't done nothing with that one and put it in the file. Listen, you can't do that. You gotta, I did this year, I got surprised. Maybe because I kept after them, maybe not. But I was told this time by the commander that their bookkeeper, every year about this time, he goes into the, I don't know if he's talking to IRS, I mean the tax man anyway, and he said they were going to give him that to try to get it done. So at least they're trying to work on it finally. And it's worth paying a little bit of money if you have to. But make the assessor your friend, because all these programs, when that I bring up, that are through the assessor's office or the state, they're just administering it. You need it if you need help, and you probably will. And I suggest wholeheartedly that you go to the assessor's office. You get the form off their website, click on assessor, click on their website, click on forms, click on. That one was the organization veterans exemption. The one I wanted to talk about today, new, is and the reason I thought of this one to do it today was because the Malibu fires. If you're watching the news, now they hear where we're at, Mark, we got cool weather. In fact, I got spring
you can't
coming
even tell.
down here today.
No.
And that's good anti-fire weather, but
in Ukaipa, it's not even windy.
It will, huh?
In Ukaipa, it's not even windy.
It's not even windy. Yeah, that's bad fire weather too when it's windy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we're in pretty good shape right now.
Mm-hmm.
Could change anytime. But Malibu fires. So there's a damaged property reassessment application. I call it calamity damage. In fact, it says damage must have occurred due to misfortune or calamity, and amount to at least $10,000. Well, if your house burnt to the ground, that's more than $10,000. And you got 12 months to file. That's if you're doing it. Well, if your house burnt to the ground, you don't want them to take no 12 months to get that thing processed, because you don't want to be paying property taxes on a property that don't have the house sitting there no more.
Absolutely. You need a house and someplace to live too.
That's right. And this form, actually, it's important that the assessor gives you something, probably to give to your insurance company, saying it's totally destroyed or whatever. And they will remove if it's totally destroyed, they will remove the structure value. And I think that they should remove some of the land value. Why? For 2 reasons. One, utilities are part of a land that is ready to be built on. The utilities value is in the land value. And now that you don't have a house, and you probably got all rubble laying there, I think, and utilities, believe me, they've been burned up too. So I think they rightly should be reduced the land should be reduced too. You don't have the same utility. You're not living there. You can't live there. And it might take you 2-3 years before you get that rebuilt. So anyway, I would put the word expedite. Big letters. Maybe use a red pen. Expedite. No 12 months thing. And many years ago when I was the assessor at the time, we lost 15,000 homes that burnt to the ground. That doesn't count the 25 to 30,000 homes that were partially destroyed. And they had the VAC center set up, emergency center out at Norton, the old Norton Air Force Base. And they were laying around out there on cots and all over the place. And myself and my staff, we were out in the field, going up where the fires were, making a list of the damaged and destroyed homes. And the next morning, we take the list in and give it to the people because they're evacuated. They don't know if their house is still standing or burnt to the ground. We'd give them the ones that were destroyed or damaged. And they had insurance companies out there. So the insurance companies could have given them immediate, and we gave them our certificates, stamped and signed by me, and telling them what the state of their property was. And they could take that to their insurance company there, and they could immediately give them money to go get a hotel room, go get a rental house, because if it's destroyed, they're not going to be moving back in that for a long time. And this way, with our help, they can get immediate help. And they appreciated that. So anyway, when it's replaced, when it's finally replaced, then they'll replace the structure, and if they lower the land, it'll come back up too. And with a Prop 13 value, as though it had never been replaced or never been damaged. And that'll be returned to what it would have been had it never been damaged. But that may take 2 or 3 years. And so anyway, that tells you a little bit about the damaged property reassessment application. Get the form, talk to them. I remember I went up to a place up around Victorville. It was on a dirt road to get to it. There were houses there. And we drove up. I had my signs on the side of the car saying I was the assessor. I had my hard hat that said assessor. And I got out. From the front of these houses, they didn't look damaged. And as I got it parked up there and got out of my car, people slowly started coming out of the houses. And they took me up and let me see the back of the house. And the back of the house was totally destroyed. But from the front, they were still living there in that partly destroyed homes. They probably didn't have any electric. That's kind of bad for them, but they were in tears thanking me for coming. And they said I was the only county official that had showed up to try to help them. And it made me feel good, but made me feel sad.
You know, Don, there's some people that, are elected to help others, and then some people are elected to help themselves. And you're one of those people that likes to help others, and that's to be commended.
I get my most gratification from helping people.
Yeah, leaving the world a better place.
Nobody can do what I can do, but which is why I'm trying to help people with some information about the forms. I'm not there to help them anymore. I used to help them in person, but I'm not there now. And you have to go through, the forms come from the assessor's office. They get filed back with the assessor's office. And so that's...
Maybe you could set up a hotline or something.
Well,
helping referral
but they ultimately
hotline for
got to go
taxes.
back to them.
Yeah, exactly.
So when they get the instructions that come with the form and the information about the form, the information and instructions,
but people are afraid of these
have
forms.
To go
They're
back to
afraid.
the assessor's office anyway and talk to them.
They're afraid of the tax assessor. They're afraid to go there. And, to have a non-tax assessor, non-government agency would be cool. That they could just call referral, hotline. Hey, I haven't paid my taxes in 3 years. What do I do? That sort of thing, or property taxes, or that sort of thing.
Now, people that's got, I already touched on it, about the reverse mortgages. People that's got those, every year, they have to do what they call a certificate of occupancy, annual certificate of occupancy. And I was helping, she was related to me. I was helping her with it. I thought that it probably started January 1st, that you had to have it in by then. Well, it turns out it must be when they do the loan, because hers is May. They said, I finally got through to them. They said she's okay up until May. They haven't sent the form out yet. She said probably, I asked her, she said probably around February or March. So a couple months or so before, and each person could be different, because it's probably when they put the loan on the house and not on January 1st. So, but if you got one of those.
Every situation's different, right?
Right, and they have to provide proof, because I was worried because I helped her send in the check to pay her property taxes, that first half.
Mm-hmm.
And because we mailed it, and I did it, by the way, with not only tracking by the post office, but also receipt requested to make sure they got that check, because I knew I was going to have to prove to the her mortgage company that the taxes were paid. Well, since it's not till May, that's good, because they said it would probably take 8 weeks to process that check, any check that you mail in. And so that gave her time. And now I've got other things. Do you got anything you want to add while I'm thumbing through this?
Well, it's just such a wealth of information, and a lot coming at people all at one time. But Don, you do such a great community service there by letting them know about forms that maybe they didn't even know about, and that's a good reason to tune into the show every week. And Don's got some trick up his sleeve. He was a tax assessor in San Bernardino County for 3 terms. 3 terms and
12 years.
12 years, and so he knows a lot about what he's talking about, and it's worthwhile listening. We need to go to a break here, if you don't mind. Shall we go to a break now?
It'd be a good idea, because I'm running out of things to talk about.
We'll talk about some other things when you get back from the break. Don Williamson, Taxsaver. This is the Don Williamson Taxsaver and More show, and we'll be back with more info right after this.
And I'm not kidding.
KCAA.
NBC News Radio, I'm Brian Shook. The White House says the alleged drones spotted over New Jersey are not a threat if they exist. National Security spokesman John Kirby spoke to reporters.
We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat or have a foreign nexus.
He added that using the technology they have so far, it appears that the drones are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully. An indictment against the suspect charged in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City may be close to coming. ABC News is reporting the Manhattan District Attorney's Office started presenting evidence to a grand jury. Firefighters are still trying to battle a large wildfire on the Southern California coast. The Franklin Fire in Malibu is now 20% contained and has burned more than 4,000 acres. I'm Brian Shook.
Are you looking for a good union job? The Inland Empire's 14,000 member strong Teamsters Local 1932 has opened a training center to get working people trained and placed in open positions in public service clerical work and in jobs in the logistics industry. This is a new opportunity to advance your career and raise standards across the region. Visit 1932trainingcenter.org to enroll today. That's 1932trainingcenter.org.
In these times, sometimes you have to take away the stress or dress to impress. Lux Transportation has just the ticket for you and your needs to relax, kick your feet up in style, and make some new fun memories. Looking for a hassle-free, comfortable ride? Experience the ultimate in luxury. Transportation in a sleek, luxurious black-on-black SUV. Private discreet rides, airport runs, sightseeing, proms, weddings, and romantic date nights are all ahead in your future with Lux Transportation. Karaoke, disability-friendly, and no problem, we're also senior citizen-friendly too. Call or text Mr. Hollins to take away the stress at 951-399-5425. That's 951-399-5425. Lux Transportation, when you need the absolute best.
Hey there, it's James Worthy, and I'm here to talk about something that's making waves in the world of recovery, IceBod Active. Whether you're a pickleballer, tennis pro, soccer fanatic, basketball champ, or a runner, IceBod Active is your ticket to quicker recovery and peak performance. Picture this: form-fitting cryo compression wear that not only supports your muscles, but makes you look good while you're doing it. IceBod Active is the ultimate fusion of style and functionality. And here's the best part. IceBod Active comes equipped with pockets that fit flexible ice cold gel packs that conform to your body's contours, providing targeted relief right where you need it most. So whether you're a hard-working laborer or a dedicated athlete, IceBod Active lets you ice and go. Don't let sore muscles hold you back. Go to icebodactive.com today and experience the future of recovery. They have free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to icebodactive.com.
The caring staff at Mac Flavor Ingredients reminds everyone to please take the opportunity to give blood. By doing so, you may save the life of a friend, child, elderly person, surgery patient, or an accident victim. So give blood. It's safe, simple, and saves lives. This important reminder is a courtesy of Mac Flavor Ingredients in Riverside, where they care about the safety and welfare of our community. Be a silent hero, and if you can, give the gift of life. Give blood.
For over 75 years, the Marine Toys for Tots program has provided toys and emotional support to economically disadvantaged children, primarily during the holidays. But needs are not just seasonal, and now, neither is Toys for Tots. They've expanded their outreach to support families in need all year long, with their new programs, including the Foster Care Initiative, the Native American Program, and the Youth Ambassador Program. To learn how you can help, visit toysfortots.org.
NBC News on KCAA Loma Linda, sponsored by Teamsters Local 1932, protecting the future of working families. Teamsters1932.org.
And now it's time for the second half of Donald Williamson's Taxsaver and More show on KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and online at kcaaradio.com, and on your smartphones, just type in KCAA in your app. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Williamson.
Thank you, Mark, and hello again to Radio Land listeners. I'm going over some things more to talk about here. I was talking about the different exemptions. There's one claim for disabled veterans property tax exemption. And that's not a little one. I mentioned that once before. And it goes from, let's see here, if I can find that sheet, because it's a big exemption. Here it is. And it has a, also tied into it, inflationary factor from year to year. But it goes from a low of, let's see, 169, nope, even lower. Well, it's showing each year. So this year, the low-income exemption is $254,000, not $7,000 like a homeowner's.
That's pretty good.
$254,000.
$254,000.
$656. I rounded that off, but it's closer to $255,000. The basic exemption, which is on the low end, is $169,000. So from $169,000 for the basic to the low income exemption of $254,000, that's a lot of money exemption, and that saves a heck of a lot of money. So, but there's going to be work involved, and that has to be, as far as I know, it has to be service connected, military service connected. So disability. So you get the form again. You go into the assessor website, click on Claim for Disabled Veterans Property Tax Exemption form, and you get the information and instructions to fill it out. You're going to have to go to the VA because the rating that they give you will help you know where you might land when they start computing what you might get as an exemption. So you're definitely going to have to work with them. And there's two 100% exemptions that is well known about, service connected, but one's for low income and one's basic. But there's another one. The third one is a lot of people don't know about. What if you're not 100%? What if you're 90, 80, 70? Well, there's a third program. And depend on what that is. If you're a doctor, and it don't say you're a doctor at VA or you're a doctor at a private hospital. I can't figure that one out, which doctor it's talking about. But again, you've got to go to the assessor's exemption department, talk with them. And of course, you'll be talking to VA in order to get that, see what your percent rating is of disability that the VA gives you. But the one, if they certify that you can't work any job, then you can get that third one. And again, talk with them about it, get all the information about it. Or the other way is just to wait until you got 100%. But but that third one would help people with less than 100%. So, but you got to go to the VA. They'll I'm sure you probably be getting treatment from the VA anyway, and they'll give you the workup what it takes to give you your percent of disability service connected. And I wish you well. It's going to take some time. I had some friends that tried to get their son on Social Security disability, and they tried 3 or 4 times before they finally succeeded. So this could be something like that, where you might not necessarily get it right away or first time, but you got to keep working on it and stay in contact with the assessor's office. They're your friend, the staff, and you got to get help from both the VA and them. And good luck. I don't go too much into this because one thing I don't know all of there is to know. There's so many ifs, ands, and buts about it that you've got to get it straight from them.
And things change all the time.
And they change from year to year. Things change. So now with that, I'm going to put that back aside. And I'm going to digress back to the Veterans Organization. I talked to BOE and about it, the difficulty in getting that. There's 2 things that really create a problem. One is the OCC certificate, and only one got it, and that was the VA. VFW. And the American Legions, I didn't find none that had it. They probably have it. I talked to the BOE and said, why can't you send all the ones that you've got out to the people, if they know where they are? That may be the problem. They may not know where they all are to send it to. And so that would be a problem. But the one found it. That's the half. The exemption is in 2 parts. The first part is your paperwork, your federal charter. If I was sending this in, I'd recommend sending a copy of the federal charter, because that certifies that that post, that American Legion. I don't know why it's so difficult. I could drive up in the parking lot and see there an American Legion. I mean, it's all over it, and so it's. But another thing I talked to the lady about was that she agreed would probably help. Because I told you before, they only want to give 2 rooms, the consultation room and the veterans records room. Well, you got other rooms. 2 of them are probably going to be rehab rooms. One rehab room, and they're different kinds. One rehab room is where a lot of the spouses donate the wheelchairs, the walkers, crutches, canes, and different rehab equipment that the veteran, their loved one, used. And now they don't have any use for it, so they give it to the American Legion. So that's one of your veterans' rehab rooms is for storing of these items like that. And then a second veterans rehab room, and you want to title it that and put a little thing above the doorway. So when you fill out your form, you can do a little sketch of your layout. Don't have to be to scale or nothing, just a little sketch. And you put down what they want. They want the room where consultation room, consulting room with the veteran. So that's veterans consulting room. Then you got your veterans records room. Then you got your two different types of veterans rehab rooms. And the second one, by the way, I didn't finish. You'll have exercise equipment, workout, where they can work out different kinds. And that'll be in there. And if a person wants to go in there and work out a little bit, they can, the veteran. And that's more of a recovery type. And then I got other rooms. I got a list. If you have a kitchen, veterans kitchen room, a veterans meeting room, veterans D-Day, historical rooms, D-Day room, veterans D-Day room, veterans Normandy room. And you put things from that era, photographs, statues, whatever you got from that era, in that room, and put them on the walls and so on. Pearl Harbor, we just had Pearl Harbor Day. You would have a Veterans Pearl Harbor Day room, historical room, and put that up there, Pearl Harbor room. And in it, put things from Pearl Harbor, of the Arizona, the Wall of Names. And if you got any other things that you can put in there related to Pearl Harbor, airplanes, aircraft, ships, or any subsequent battles, not just Pearl Harbor. And put that. When we went to Pearl Harbor, we got there twice, to Waikiki or Oahu, was because Qantas had their convention there. One thing you'll hear me talk a lot about Qantas because I'm in it, have been in it since 1985. And we help children, we help needy families, we help seniors. There's 165 people in a senior post-acute care center in Rialto. And we give them at Christmas time and Easter. We give them Christmas cards or an Easter card. We give them some kind of toy from Christmas or from Easter. And I used to play Santa Claus. I used to play the Easter Bunny. And Mark was talking to me about my Santa suit. I think I still have it.
Yeah, you made a great Santa. I remember back in those days.
Yeah, I did it for...
Got to give us a ho, ho, ho. Just come on.
Yeah, I did it for Rialto a number of times. I got deposed one time by the mayor. She wanted to set up there on the fire truck. Fire truck. And so that's all right.
Give us your best ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Ho, 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 boys and girls. Ho, ho, ho.
Merry
and then
Christmas.
I talked about...
That's good. I'm trying to talk you into coming up and being on the Teamsters entry, the Teamsters, KQLH, and KCAA, and the YMRA, the Yucaipa Mobile Home Residents Association entry into the Yucaipa Christmas Parade at noon coming up this Saturday.
This Saturday?
This Saturday, yeah.
What time?
We step off at noon. We're decorating our float at 9:30 a.m. at the Fat Greek in Yucaipa. And 3200
Do you already
block.
have a Santa Claus?
We don't have a Santa Claus.
I'll dig down my suit and see what I got to do.
Oh, that would be an honor, sir.
The whiskers and the hair.
That would be an honor.
A little bit yellowish, and I may have to go find a place to buy some more.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, it would have to write on our float. But, they do have another Santa, and, I was just thinking about we're right in front of the other Santa. We're entry 125. I'm not sure. But you could be on our float. There could be two Santas.
If they have their own Santa, they may not want to.
They might not want to. I was just thinking about that.
Check it out.
Now that I just got to thinking about that, we got a late entry into that. But we're going to have the big, 35-foot land yacht Teamster van, big black Teamster van, plus their other mobilized vehicle, which is about maybe 10 feet shorter, 25 feet. So we have two great big entries with all the people from the radio station, from the Ukaipa Mobile Home Residents Association, and then also from our good old radio stations around here. So we're going to have fun. There's no better thing to get in the Christmas spirit than to go to a Christmas parade. Don't you agree?
I agree. I was just at one.
Where were you?
Rialto had theirs.
Yeah.
And we had a booth. We had booths around there, and we had a Kiwanis booth. And
yep, Redlands has had theirs already. Palm Springs had theirs too. People are having Christmas parades all over the place. Calamasa had it right at the beginning of the month. I think it was on the 8th. So, yeah, Ukaipa was a little late in the game this year, but, there's no time better than that. And we're just going to celebrate right through the holidays. Make it a good Christmas, right?
Everybody can be Santa's helper.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people out there with children, and they don't have a lot of money for
That's right.
toys at Christmas. And I heard the radio talking about the Marine Corps Toys for Tots.
Right.
And that's been because I'm a Marine. I love the Toys for Tots, and if you can donate, if not to them, donate. I know you did the turkeys for Thanksgiving.
Right.
Radio station helped with that.
There are agencies and food banks and people that all over the place that can use donations. And, giving is the spirit of Christmas.
But everybody can help be an elf for Santa.
That's right. You can all be Santa. You can all be the elves off the shelf. They have the elf on the shelf. Get off the shelf and help.
Something, donations or toys or something, if you know a family.
That's a good one. Get off the shelf and help. We might make something like that. I want to mention something else, and then I got to step off for a minute to do some technical stuff behind the scenes, Don. I am so proud of my alumni, San Bernardino High School today. At 5 p.m., they're debuting the grand opening ribbon cutting of their new performing, I think it's revitalized Performing Arts Center. I haven't been there to see if they tore down the old auditorium or not, if they just redid it. I couldn't really get an answer on that one. And, it's tough to get on high school campuses. But today, I was going to go, but I'm stepping in for Eric.
Performing Arts building at?
It's at 1850 North East Street in San Bernardino. 1850 North East Street.
Far from the where Mark Alvarez has an antique place.
Yeah. It's right there, just about 18th. It's between 18th and 19th on East Street. Big campus. It's been there forever. San Bernardino High School. That's right. The Cardinals.
Or is that where it's at?
That's exactly where it's at.
Oh, okay.
You enter through the main entrance. About 4:30, they're going to dedicate a mural just outside, I think, the campus, and I think it's on what they call the B building. Only an alumni would know what that building was, but B building is the big brick building on the outside, and they put a mural on that, I believe, which is kind of cool. And San Bernardino High School is its own official city, Cardinal City, and they used to have a radio station there too.
They did.
KARD. It was kind of an unofficial radio station just on campus, but KARD. I'd love to find out if they still had that one going or not. That would be kind of fun. So San Bernardino High School, Performing Arts Center being dedicated. And then the school district is having their 60th Jubilee, too, at the same time. The San Bernardino Unified School District, as it stands now, is 60 years old this month.
And is that there or somewhere else?
That's there, too. Yeah, that's there as well. So
Not very far from there, I think slightly to the north, was, in the old days, was Richard's Pancake House.
Oh, I remember Richard's Pancake House. Unfortunately, not there anymore. But
it burned down. I'm not sure.
I think it did. I'm not sure. But they had wonderful pancakes there. They had a couple of good little breakfast diners right in a row right there. Richard's Pancake House and something. I can't remember the other one. And then Bing's. Bing's, of course, was right up there too. Or Wong's. I think it was Wong's, not Bing's. Bing's was the restaurant over on Highland Avenue next to the old Crest Chevrolet. Now I'm really showing my age here. All these old businesses that are gone in San Bernardino.
Chevrolet, that's over by Home Depot.
Owned by Home Depot. And I don't think it's called Crest Chevrolet anymore. But it's still a Chevrolet dealer.
Got another name.
Something other name. We're not here to advertise them, right? But San Bernardino is a city on the move. It's changing. There's lots going on now, and new things. There's a new school district building going to open up pretty soon. A big building on Southeast Street, or actually it's still on Northeast Street. Northeast Street, probably about the 1100 block of Northeast Street, and then right across from that, they're going to open up a police department building. They're building a new building there, and it used to be where the old Santa Fe Federal Savings and Loan was. That's coming down, and they're going to build a new police department there too. So the building looks really good. I was looking forward to seeing this Performing Arts Center. I will see it another time. Eric Osorio owes me for filling in for him today because he wanted to go see his young 8-year-old Gracie, she's so dear and sweet. She's in a play, and he wanted to go see her. And I said,
the play is at?
Yeah. The play's out in Corona somewhere. I'm not sure exactly, but I couldn't say you had to stay here and work. You got to go. I had to go see his daughter, and I went through a list of 10 people, and usually the general manager is not operating the controls. I haven't done this in a number of years, so I hope I'm doing all right, folks. I've done 2 live shows in a row, getting ready to do a 3rd one, and then a 4th one. Eric really stuck it to me. He owes me for this, but we're doing it. We're doing it, and I'm being the radio guy that I've always been for 30 years or so. But we got another about 8 minutes, and I'm going to have to hand it back over to you while I connect with another show. And Don, take it away with those great tax saver advice and words of wisdom in this season. There must be some tax deductible gifts or nonprofits you can give to.
Actually, this is a great time coming Christmas. Clean out, get ready for the new presents you're going to get, where you're going to put them.
Right.
And clean out your garage and your under your bed and in your closets, and donate it to places like Salvation Army, Goodwill, and other places that you get a tax deduction on your taxes, your income taxes for it. And keep the little donation slip that they give you. And I long about this time from now till the end of the year, I'm going to be cleaning mine out and getting me those little slips to take with my income tax, man, because I do go to one, and mine's difficult enough now that I pay someone to do it. And so this is a great time. There's so many. I've got a bicycle. It may be a 10-speed or 15-speed. I did actually ride it a time or two, and then it kind of sat in my garage. The tires are low, but it's still a good bicycle, and it's a little taller, and I'm a little shorter, and so I'm never going to be able to ride that thing anymore. And I'm going to give that away this year. And I've also got a little you pedal it. Oh, he was giving me hand signals, and I had to look. Anyway, you had to pedal it, and my kids would have enjoyed that thing. I bought that at a garage sale, and I didn't never give it away, so I'm going to give that away. The Kiwanis, I think, is going to do their yard sale or something somewhere, and if I don't donate it to them, I'll find somebody to donate it to that needs a bicycle or that. Their kids would love it. And this is there's so many things that you can donate and make somebody happy. My garage is just full of stuff, and I just am in the mood to kind of give some of it away and make more room. And anybody can do that. Go into your closet, find clothes, nice clothes that you haven't worn and not going to wear, and give it to somebody that can make use of it. And I got a lot of gifts that I either got and never did much with. They're in boxes. They're stored in my garage. Now's the time to dig them out and give them to somebody that'll use them and enjoy them.
Or if you have something good that you just have in storage you haven't seen in 2-3 years, you don't really need it then, and it's still good shape, and somebody else can use it, this is the time to dig it out, give it to somebody. It's a win-win because maybe you reduce the size of your storage unit, maybe you get a smaller storage unit, or who knows, maybe even get rid of a storage unit.
I'm trying to do that. I got one.
Yeah, they are just money pits. I got to tell you, you pay more money than the stuff that's worth in them.
It's
really
already past that.
Yeah,
and some of the stuff. My wife had stuff. She passed away, and she's got stuff in that, and it's time to break away with some of it and get rid of it and give it away to somebody that can use it. And Christmas time's a good time. It's good stuff. It ain't bad.
I have one storage unit. It's like $300. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
What mine is.
Yeah, I got to get rid of it. And then I've got two other ones, one for the radio station and 1.5 actually for the radio station, because we just moved. You're sitting in a new place here, and we had a 3,800 square foot building and a lot of stuff I couldn't bring here. There's not enough storage, so we had to get another storage unit, and so it goes on and on and on. I know here we are talking about storage units in the last minute and a half of the show here, but give us some words of wisdom for the Christmas holidays, and we'll go out with that.
Well, help the needy families, the children. I wouldn't mind having somebody from Rotary or Lions come on and talk about theirs. I believe that we all do good work. We all have our favorite charities or things to do. Scholarships as well as toys and helping the seniors and the convalescent hospitals and so on. But the thing is, every one of them is good, and everybody. This is the time of the year when with Christmas, everybody can be Santa's helper and dig in that, find some toys that you're not using that are good, and donate them. Toys for Tots, to Kiwanis, to Rotary, and food. We give food at Christmas time too. It's turkeys and hams.
All right. Thank you, Don Williamson. You've been listening to the Don Williamson Taxsaver and More show right here on KCA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. We'll be back with the news and Water Zone right after this.
NBC News on KCAA Loma Linda, sponsored by Teamsters Local 1932, protecting the future of working families. Teamsters1932.org.
Albertsons is suing Kroger following a decision by a federal judge to block their merger plans. Michael Kastner reports.
The grocery chain filed a lawsuit against its main competitor on Wednesday, accusing it of breaching its contract and claiming Kroger failed to do all it could do to secure regulatory approval of their $25 billion merger deal. Albertsons is seeking billions of dollars in damages from Kroger, along with a $600 million termination fee. A Kroger spokesperson called the lawsuit an attempt to deflect responsibility following Albertsons' alleged multiple breaches of the agreement. I'm Michael Kastner.
Gasoline prices in the U.S. are at their lowest in 3 years.
That's good news, as AAA says almost 120 million people will travel at least 50 miles away from home this holiday season, and 9 in 10 travelers will drive to their destinations. GasBuddy.com says the national average for a gallon of regular fell to $2.97 on Monday. That's the lowest average since May of 2021. The lowest prices in the country are in Oklahoma, with the average price of $2.42 a gallon. The highest average was in Hawaii, where a gallon of gas is still $4.48. A top analyst at GasBuddy predicts the national average for gas will potentially drop another 10 to 15 cents by Christmas. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
BuzzFeed is selling the studio behind the popular YouTube show Hot Ones. A group of investors that includes show host Sean Evans is buying First We Feast for $82.5 million. Hot Ones sees Evans ask celebrities questions as they eat chicken wings that increase in spiciness throughout the interview. It debuted in 2015 and has featured high-profile guests such as Ariana Grande, Shaquille O'Neal, Sydney Sweeney, Ryan Reynolds, and Hugh Jackman. The show has more than 14 million subscribers on YouTube. I'm Brian Shook.
One of the best ways to build a healthier local economy is by shopping locally. Teamster Advantage is a shop local program started by Teamster Local 1932 that has brought together hundreds of locally owned businesses to provide discounts for residents who make shopping locally their priority. Everything from restaurants like Corky's to fun times at SB Raceway and much, much more. If you're not currently a Teamster and you want access to these local business discounts, contact Jennifer at 909-889-8377, extension 224. Give her a call. That number again is 909-889-8377, extension 224.
In these times, sometimes you have to take away the stress or dress to impress. Lux Transportation has just the ticket for you and your needs to relax, kick your feet up in style, and make some new fun memories. Looking for a hassle-free, comfortable ride? Experience the ultimate in luxury. Transportation in a sleek, luxurious black-on-black SUV. Private, discreet rides, airport runs, sightseeing, proms, weddings, and romantic date nights are all ahead in your future with Lux Transportation. Karaoke, disability-friendly, and no problem, we're also senior citizen-friendly too. Call or text Mr. Hollins to take away the stress at 951-399-5425. That's 951-399-5425. Lux Transportation, when you need the absolute best.
Hey there, it's James Worthy, and I'm here to talk about something that's making waves in the world of recovery, IceBod Active. Whether you're a pickleballer, tennis pro, soccer fanatic, basketball champ, or a runner, IceBod Active is your ticket to quicker recovery and peak performance. Picture this: form-fitting cryo compression wear that not only supports your muscles, but makes you look good while you're doing it. IceBod Active is the ultimate fusion of style and functionality. And here's the best part. IceBod Active comes equipped with pockets that fit flexible ice-cold gel packs that conform to your body's contours, providing targeted relief right where you need it most. So whether you're a hard-working laborer or a dedicated athlete, IceBod Active lets you ice and go. Don't let sore muscles hold you back. Go to icebodactive.com today and experience the future of recovery. They have free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to icebodactive.com.
KCAA.
Here we go, guys.
Live and in color from the NBC News radio broadcasting studios of KCAA, 1050 AM, 102.3 FM, and 106.5 FM, located in beautiful Southern California, and in parallel from the Turfs Up radio studio in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Thanks for tuning in to the Water Zone show this evening. All right, a pleasant afternoon and a good evening and a good morning again, depending on where you're listening to the show. We appreciate you tuning into the Water Zone. I'm Rob Starr, along with my special co-producer, Mr. Chris Davies, who's also the co-host. He's a great guy.
Hey, thank you, Rob.
Didn't mean to get you all choked up. That's okay.
And right back at you, but I'm just so much looking forward to the show today because, you know,